Right, so as Liz just said, for those of you who don't know me, I'm Daniel Pappas. I graduated about 4 years ago. Parish was a lot different and still very much the same back then. I'm about to graduate from SMU here in Dallas and move on to the next step in my life. And let me be honest with all of you in this room right now. I'm beyond excited to be finished, but I'm also a little scared, but mostly excited. You see, while a lot of my friends are either continuing their education or finding permanent positions in companies, a few of us are taking a bit of a different route. A handful of us, my friends, people that I know and love, are going out into the country or the world to serve as translators, organizers, carpenters, teachers, and really just help out in any impoverished or poorly developed area. So in short, we're just kind of taking a bit of time off to go help out. We're all taking a year or two to help people. So in August this summer, August 25th in fact, I will be leaving for Moyobamba, Peru to spend a year in service with my church after college. Now it's kind of confusing because it sounds a lot like missionary work. There is a difference, but pretty much anytime I talk to anybody, I just say missionary. It's just really easy to communicate. So you'll hear me make a lot of missionary jokes if you ever meet me in person. It's probably in poor taste, but it's still kind of fun for me. Flashback to 2011. Yeah, the year I graduated high school here at Parish. In case you didn't know, that's me right there. Yes, so there were graduation parties every day. Relatives keep sending me gifts or visiting with me. My best friends and I just like hang out on the weekends. No swim meets, no play rehearsals, no homework, no tests. It was a really great time of my life. Most importantly for me, at the time, no more mandatory community service. Now, don't get me wrong, and I'm sorry, Mrs. O'Rear, if you're in this room, but I absolutely loved my senior service project. It's a great break in your day to go, for me, to the Hillcrest campus and hang out with second graders and teach them and learn from them as well. A very positive and enriching experience. The thing that I really struggled with was the fact that I had to have at least 5 hours a trimester in order to finish my classwork, to finish my grade. And I don't know exactly how you guys do it anymore, but I assume that the standard still remains.
15.
Is that, am I incorrect?
It's 15.
Okay, yeah. All right. But for me, it was really difficult. It was something that I didn't have time for. It was really frustrating for me to slip in time at the local retirement center and play bingo. It was very simple. You call out a number and a letter, and then you do that for like 4 hours, and bam. Unfortunately, I didn't know. I tried a million ways to make things count that really didn't. I learned that just being in a library and reading to yourself isn't exactly the same as reading to underdeveloped or illiterate children. It's actually not at all the same. Sorry about that, Mrs. O'Rear. But I remember this one time. Just this one time, my senior year, my dad made me and a friend, another student used to go here, his name is Julius. Some of you remember him. He made us go and plant petunias for the retired people in our church. Or maybe it was daisies, I don't honestly remember. But so my Sunday school class made this big deal about it. And my dad is a teacher, and Tom being Tom loves to come up with these grand ideas and implement them. But basically he makes us do all the work. So we raised the money, we went and bought the plants. So we got everything, and then the next Sunday we're ready to go after church to go plant these things. Well, with 10 people, it shouldn't take a lot of time. Unfortunately, pretty much everyone bailed. So it was just me and Julius, my friend. All right, fine, we'll do it. Now, given that I was living with the Sunday school teacher and my dad, I had no choice in the matter. And for roughly 4 hours on a Sunday afternoon, when I should have been doing my homework, I dug in the dirt and mud and I planted flowers. It seems like the most menial possible thing to do, and it frustrated me to absolutely no end. I admit right now that I was probably the grumpiest I've ever been. It wasn't very pretty, but it taught me something. First of all, it did teach me that you have to make good on your promises. We said we'd do it, and we did it. That's important. But most of all, it taught me something really simple and something very profound. It's just that the smallest things matter. Those flowers might have been the hardest possible thing for me to do that day. I should have been doing homework. I should have been messaging my friends or watching shows that I had the free time to. I didn't get much. But to those senior members, it made a world of difference. It was a complete different thing. In fact, every Sunday that I came to church afterwards, I kept getting updates on these flowers. Some grew and some shriveled. Some withered and died. That's just the way of things. But I don't think that really mattered to them. It wasn't that they couldn't take care of the flowers or that they now had a very pretty garden. It mattered that we were there and we showed up and we talked to them and generally made a good time of it. In fact, today even, I still hear about these flowers. Like, they see me once every 6 months and they're still like, oh, Virginia's just growing right up. Can't wait. Awesome. I had a really hard time doing that. That was actually one of the hardest times of my senior year. But years after those plants passed or continued to live on, nobody really forgot just the simple kindness it was to have them in the first place. The little things do matter. Well, years later, I laugh about how angry I was when I planted those flowers and probably felt a little bit embarrassed. We've all kind of been there before. It wasn't until I went to college and I didn't have to plant flowers or call bingo numbers. I didn't have to have 15 hours of community service that I realized how much that actually mattered to me. At the time, it was a big turning point for me. The passage we read today says, "For the Son of Man came not to be served, but to serve, and to give his life a ransom for many." Jesus wasn't some warrior sent by God to rescue the Jews from oppression. It's certainly something they hoped for, but in the end it was much simpler. Jesus came to help others, to help mankind. It sounds very grand, but he did it on a very specific level. Nobody expected this son of a carpenter to just come out of nowhere and start teaching, start baptizing, start washing people's feet, or serving dinner for everyone. And they certainly didn't expect him to spend all of his time with the outcasts, corrupt tax collectors, lepers, widows, unclean people that they never thought he would see. And they certainly never expected him to turn water into wine, or to walk on water, or even rise from the dead. Despite all of this, Jesus turned out to be one of the most influential people in history. Just some son of a carpenter based out of Nazareth. I never expected to be some kind of missionary, I'll be honest with you. I never thought that after college ended for me, I would leave my country, my home, for a year, just to spend it in the northern part of Peru, trying to educate Peruvian tribes about their land rights, the oil companies. It sounds very complicated, but I never expected that. I never said to myself, that would be really great. Let's just go abroad for a year and help people. In fact, in high school, I probably said the opposite. Those mandatory 15 hours felt like a prison sentence to me. And I'm sorry, Mrs. Overeer. Do good work or else. I never suspected that those 15 hours, however demanding they were back then, changed me and convinced me to do what I'm doing now. Regardless, here I am. I'm still going to Peru. I still want to help people. So special thank you to Mrs. Overeer for forcing me through that and helping me with that. And also, thank you to the Spanish department here. I can't forget the countless times Professor Jennings or Profe Johnson or even Senor Allende helped me practice speaking my Spanish. I'm actually feeling a lot more comfortable about going to South America. And I'm a lot less worried about it now that I know a little bit of the language. But no matter what, I highly encourage all of you to just keep an open mind. Whether you know exactly where you're going or if you have no clue whatsoever, just keep an open mind. The world could use more volunteers, and certainly don't count yourself out when it comes to helping people here in Dallas, here abroad, because it doesn't have to be something big like leaving the country, but doing one good thing can lead to another. Who knows? You might end up in South Korea, the Philippines, Namibia, Ireland, Peru, or even just New Orleans, Denver, Chicago, or Dallas. So, thank you.